Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Skye and today we're doing a November Shop My Stash. Let's first talk about blush. So we have a couple of blushes to discuss. The first one is the Richwell Defee Inner Glow Cream Pigment in Delirium. If I can open it. This has been used so much. You can see that I have swirled my finger in it quite a bit. I have used this a lot for more natural makeup days, and any look that I was doing throughout October Halloween season, anything that was kind of spooky, warm toned. This is a fantastic blush. It's a bit more of a waxy formula, but once you warm it up in your fingers, it applies really beautifully. Now the other blush I have to discuss is my very dirty, my Lethal Cosmetics blush palette. And this contains 3 blushes. Now, I wanted to use these 2 for Halloween looks, but I'll be honest, I didn't even touch them at all. But I was mainly using Nectar right here. It's one of my favorite blushes, as you can see. It feels funny talking about blushes because I just posted my part 1 of my Declutter series. I swatched all my blushes and honestly, using Nectar, I'm wearing it today, is such a pretty blush. It's such a beautiful pinky, with the right amount of peach undertone to it. Honestly, it's incredible. I can see myself finishing it up one day. I don't know when that day will happen because these are very pigmented. Alright, we're moving on to the palettes and we got a thick pile right here. Let's start off with the palette that I'm wearing today, and it's quite dirty. There's eyeshadow on it. This is the Glaminatrix Rich Romantic. It is beautiful. This is Glaminatrix's newest palette, although I say that they did just release their Fairy Lights 6-pan palette. Yes, I did purchase it. Yes, I will do videos with it once I get it. And yeah, I'm wearing this on my eyes today. I did use this a lot for more natural looks throughout October, I should say. Okay. A lot of the time I would just put this in the crease, this to deepen up, and then one of these beautiful metallic multi-chromes on my lid. Honestly, it is beautiful. You can do lots of beautiful neutral toned looks. This is one of my favourite palettes that Glaminatrix has ever done, but that's not really saying much because I love all of their palettes. This palette, along with the one I'm going to talk about afterwards, were my workhorses throughout Halloween. Honestly, I have used this one and the next palette over and over and over and over. So the first one is Sugar and Spice from Glaminatrix. Do I really need to discuss how much I love Glaminatrix's formula? This palette is incredible because I use this all the fucking time for these mattes and Basil specifically. It is a really pretty purple blue shimmer. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I use the black eyeshadow in this a lot, obviously because of Halloween. I wanted to do a lot of smoky looks, but it was just such a powerhouse. Honestly, the mattes in here are so utilitarian during October. Very cool toned, very interesting, unique undertones to it. This shade right here, Sticky Date, has a bit of an olive green undertone. It's really interesting. I really didn't expect this to be so used during this month because I did have quite a lot of palettes, but I'm really happy that I did because it was great. Now the other palette that I was actually quite surprised that I reached for over and over, this was actually my most used palette of the month, even over my Glaminatrix palettes, and that says a lot, and it's the Alter Ego Mirage palette. I believe this is duping the Empowered palette. I originally said it was the Jaguar palette that it was duping, but no, I think it's called Empowered from Huda Beauty. It is just a really pretty warm-toned neutral palette. You've got a nice gradient of really warm orangey tones to cooler toned grayish browns, taupes I should say. Now the reason this was my workhorse is actually ridiculous. I used these neutral browns, the warm browns, all the time if I wanted to do a really simple look, just a matte all over the lid, and then I would pair the shimmers from Rich Romantic a lot with this one. But for the majority of my spooky looks that I did, this section right here, this quad, was used so much. It looks really warm on camera, but these are the most beautiful taupey, cool-toned grayish browns. Maybe not so much this one, but at least these right here. I use them so much, and there are 2 cream shadows in here, a black and a dark brown, and I was like, you know what, let's try them out. I'm not really a cream shadow boy that much, but let's try them out. They're surprisingly really, really nice. I would use them for like eyeliner, like smoky liner, smudge down, all of that. For my Halloween look that I wore for my Halloween party, I went as Ada Wong from Resident Evil. Greg went as Leon Kennedy. And I used this palette to create her look. I'll be honest, even though the shimmers in here are very, very pretty, I did not even touch the shimmers. I think I used like this shimmer like once, but I mainly use this for the mattes. And I really like Alter Ego's 18 pan format. I do have Coastal, and that palette is one of my favorites. I love it. And the last palette I have to mention is also from Alter Ego, and this is the Sakura palette. I also forgot to mention that all of the palettes except for Glaminatrix Sugar and Spice were sent in PR. I was actually meant to get Sugar and Spice sent in PR, but then it got lost in the mail with international shipping, so I did buy it myself, but just so you know. But yeah, this is the Sakura palette. I believe this is duping the Natasha Denona Retro Glam, I think. She's got like the Retro palette and then Retro Glam, which I'm like, why would you have two palettes that are basically the same name? But it's got like really light beige mattes and then like pinks and like sage greens. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I have used this twice. It's my least used palette in this entire rotation. And I feel really guilty because it is really gorgeous. Like when I looked at it, I thought that I would love this more than Mirage. Like I truly was like, okay, this is gonna be my favorite. Mirage, it's gonna be nice, but like I'm not gonna really go ham on it. It is a really pretty palette, but I just didn't find myself personally gravitating towards it in this rotation. I'd just rather use other things. I will say this shade right here, what's the name? Prime. It is a beautiful sparkly champagne, and the two looks that I did with this one during October were using this little quad right here, the neutrals. Now I am in the process of doing my like collection declutter series, and eyeshadow palettes is the last section, but I'll be honest with you, I think I might be decluttering this one. And again, it's not because it's bad quality. From what I have tried, I like Alter Ego's formula. It's just that I just don't find myself gravitating towards it. But I know one of my friends really wanted to buy this palette, so I'm probably gonna give it to her. So, Ems, if you're watching this video, I don't think you are, but little present for you coming soon. Our lip products, we had a lot of lip products to talk about, 4 to be exact, basically 1 for each palette. Let's start off with the black liquid lipstick. So this is the Lethal Cosmetics Chimera black liquid lipstick in Abyss. Now, of course, this was used so much during October because if you're not the type to wear a black liquid lipstick, the time to wear it is October, and I love black lipstick. It's one of my favorites. I just feel really pretty when I wear it. However, this is getting old. It doesn't taste good. But I don't have another black liquid lipstick on standby. It did get a good amount of usage. I would declutter this, but I don't have another one. So I'm gonna keep it until I get another fresh black liquid lipstick. That's on my shopping list. The gloss that I had in this rotation was good old reliable Fenty Glow Gloss Bomb from Fenty Beauty, obviously. This is just, I don't really know what more I can say about this. This was used quite a lot. When I had like lighter makeup days, when I had to go to work, I just plop this on, nice and easy, beautiful neutral, like warm neutral gloss. It paired really nicely with the Rich Romantic and Mirage palettes. Now this lipstick I wore a shitload with Rich Romantic. I honestly could wear this lipstick with this look that I'm wearing today, but I wanted to go black. I wanted to be more iconic, but this is the Jason Wu Hot Fluff lipstick in Gingerbread. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I've ever said this on my channel, I love this lipstick formula, but the fact that it's called Gingerbread and it's like a pinky colour doesn't make sense to me. This is not a gingerbread colour. Jason, I'm talking to you directly, this is not gingerbread. But this is a beautiful matte bullet lipstick formula. It is so like velvety and just pigmented and comfortable on the lips. One of the most comfortable matte bullet lipstick formulas I've ever used. And I feel like these are so underrated. No one talks about these that I see. And this formula is really good, especially if you like to blot out your lipstick to make it look a little bit more like, you know, you don't want a super defined lip line. These are really good for that. And the final lipstick we have to talk about is the Colourpop Lippy Sticks in the shade Good Times. It's their Blur formula. This is like a cool toned brown. And actually I did use this mixed in with the black for my like bat makeup look that I did. It looked really cool. But honestly, even though this was in my Shop My Stash, I kept reaching for my Rare Beauty Wise lipstick over this one. The colours are quite similar, but like, even though I knew I had to use this one in this rotation, I kept looking at the Rare Beauty one being like, right, that includes the roundup of this Shop My Stash. Now let's go on into my collection and pick out some new products. I feel like lately y'all have seen so much of these drawers. Hopefully you're not sick of them because we're only halfway through the Declutter series and I still have to do Shop My Stash. Also disclaimer, 2 of these drawers are organised, the rest aren't. But let's start with the top drawer. As per, we're only going to be picking out blush from this category. I do have 2 highlights in here and I might pick them out, we'll see. I didn't even talk about, oh my god. Let me just do it like this. I didn't even talk about the theme for this Shop My Stash rotation, and this theme is extremely cringe. Well, okay, it's not cringe, it's just really mushy. So my boyfriend Greg and I are celebrating our 1-year anniversary at the end of November, and we're also celebrating our 1-year date-iversary. So we're going to be celebrating our first ever date and then our 1-year anniversary, both occurred in November. So this rotation is going to be themed around love. That's so gross that I just said that. But I mean, November is kind of like the transition between Halloween and Christmas, and quite frankly, I'm not really in the Christmas mood just yet. So I want to theme this around the month of love, because that is what November is for me now. Normally it would be February, but that is my birthday. Okay, so I am going to be picking out most of the products that I wore on Greg and I's first date, and also the first few dates that we had. And the blush that I wore was this one. This is the Patrick Tar She's Baked like cream and powder blush duo. I love this so much. I just feel sexy and beautiful every time I wear it. I also want to use this Rare Beauty like sample of their Bliss blush. This blush is a really pretty like pinky shade, and I have a Rare Beauty blush down here in the shade Joy. I think we're gonna reserve this for Christmas time though. This one's like soft pink romantic, and I think it will work really well, and I have been putting off using this because I want to do it at like a special occasion because I'm so excited to use it. What more of a special occasion do I need than my 1-year anniversaries? I think that's all the blush I'm gonna be picking out, but for highlighter, I haven't used this in so long and I wore this on our first date. This is the Colourpop Moon Peach Super Shock highlighter. I love this. I'm pretty sure it's discontinued. The formula is perfect. I love it. I need to use it. All right, and that's gonna conclude drawer number 1. Now drawer number 2, look at how organized this is, y'all. If you don't watch my Declutter series, low-key you're missing out. Not to be that person, but I am so proud of how this drawer is looking. Now that being said, I don't know if I'm going to be picking out anything from this drawer. I'm going to leave the highlighters because I've already picked out the highlight that I want to use. So we'll move swiftly on to drawer number 3, which is lipsticks. I love that my nail polishes have migrated. Move those back there. I know I did a video like last year. Hello. I know I did a video where I recreated the makeup that I wore on my first date with Greg. Part of me wants to do another video like that again. Now, if we're sticking true to the lore, the lipstick that I wore on Greg and I's first date was my trusty dusty Udden's Eye Kiss of Fairy cream lipstick in Love Jasmine. And when I wore this lipstick on our first date, he said my lipstick was really pretty, and I mean, that says a lot coming from someone who's not into makeup. It also pairs really beautifully with the Patrick Tar blush. Like, these two are a match made in heaven. I don't know what else to choose, so I'm gonna come back to this drawer. I'm not ready. Palette drawer, which is so overflowing. It also doesn't help because I have one palette on the way to me that I have purchased, and also there's another palette that I am aiming to purchase. So basically this is just a lot. But with that being said, the palette that I wore on Greg and I's first date was, you guessed it, Glaminatrix Nearly Natural. A special palette for a special occasion. I love this one so much. Words cannot describe how in love I am with this palette. It is the best neutral palette to ever exist. I'm so upset that it's not available anymore. You can buy the single shadows, thankfully. But yeah, this is one of the best palettes ever. So I am definitely gonna reach into this, and it just makes me so giddy and happy. Like, it just gives me good memories. I love it. Now I'm unsure what to use for the second palette. We've used these two recently. I've used Peaches and Dreams, but I feel like I haven't... Oh, I forgot that I took a shade out for a single shadow palette. Now, when you think romance, you would think of the, like, Natasha Denona Love palette, right? I feel like that's kind of a no-brainer, but I don't know. Maybe. I'll put that to the side, like, over here. Rich Romantic honestly would be perfect for this. I honestly could just dip into this for this month. But, like, I shouldn't. It could also go for the Blend Bunny, all done up. That honestly would really work. I also wore this to Greg's friend's wedding. We went to 2 weddings this year. I haven't used All Done Up in a while. These 2 palettes I haven't used, like, I try not to use them all the time because they are 2 of my favourites. But you know what? We're using favourites today. Screw it. That's what we're doing. And I think there's another palette that I kind of want to dip into, but let me just look at these first. Like, I've got all these tones kind of covered, right? Like, realistically, I shouldn't get another one, but part of me really wants to dip back into Coastal because I've been thinking about this one from Alter Ego all month, and I kind of want to use her again. You know what? Yes. Those are the palettes we're going to be choosing. Now, I want to go back into my lip drawer now that we've picked out the palettes. So we've got, like, cooler tones in here, so maybe I should pick out a cool toned lipstick. Oh, a lip product I haven't used in a very long time because I used it non-stop when I got it. And again, we're going to be using favourites in this rotation, is the Rare Beauty Glossy Lip Balm in Nearly Natural. No, it's Nearly Neutral. Nearly Natural is the palette name. You see what gets me confused? This is such a good product. It's so luxurious, so plush, and like, oh, juicy on the lips. I love it. Love it. I also have Rare Beauty Wise, which I love. Should I use it because we're using favourites in this video? Fuck it. Fuck it, we're using favourites. We're using Rare Beauty Wise. Now, Greg fucking loves this colour on me, and this colour. This one right here in the purple packaging is Wild Apple. The one in the grey packaging is Cognac. Greg also loves Rubino. I'll swatch Rubino as well. He loves reds. He's a man of red. Now, I think if we're going for romance, we're gonna go for Rubino. We gotta, because I think if I had to ask Greg what's his favourite out of these 3, he would go for Rubino. I don't know why my brain didn't think of that when I was picking out the other 2 lip clays, but anytime I wear this one, he is like, oh my god, you look beautiful. And I feel beautiful when I wear Rubino. Let's place our rotation in right now. I am so happy with this rotation. It's so romantic and pretty. Let me actually do this so I can kind of like see them a bit better. And I've put the Rare Beauty sampler on the top of my Patrick Tar blush, so I make a note to actually use that. This rotation is like making me beam from ear to ear right now. It's just making me so happy. So let's move on into the outro. So that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Do let me know what's in your November Shop My Stash. I would really like to know. If you'd like to see more makeup content from me, you can follow me on my Instagram. It's faerie.skye right here. I post all my looks there and I'm active on there every single day. And if you'd like to support me further, I do have my own small business, Rain Cloud Candles Co. We're a small queer-owned business based in the UK and we make handmade candles and wax melts. The link to shop will be down below, along with our social media if you'd like to support us. We're hopefully going to have a restock in November at some point, and a sale. Shh, you didn't hear it from me. Except you did. I don't even think I announced the sale portion on the Raincloud Instagram. Well, now you know. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I'd love to have you here. And as always, stay safe, wash your hands, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!